Dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 boom. Da, 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 da. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Apologies for the silly introduction. Yes, the Hoover commercial, the last in the commercial lineup. This one, if I remind myself, dating from 1980 or 1990. Did we ever work that out? Did I? Problem with these Hoover decos is they work really, really well if you know the decade. If you don't know the decade, you get stumped. U7008, then it's 0, so it's February. I can't hold it. It's February 1980 or 1990. Sort of actually going with 1990, but either way, the last in the commercial lineup is basically a 912A without the headlights. And it's really, really weird. It's been a really strange machine to do because it's modern, but it's old. You see, basically under this top is a Hoover Senior from the 50s. You know, a 612 shares a strong family resemblance. The motor even has the headlight, holder. In fact, let's take the hood off and I'll show you. Release the base plate with inbuilt belt guard. So again, this goes back decades and decades and decades to a fairly familiar chassis. Yeah. Brush roll is from a Senior. There's one hood bolt. The other one is here. Then you flip it back over and lift off the hood look, which looks like that. That's the inside of it. But in here, look, there is the headlight socket. There are no screws, there are no terminals, the wires go into it, but it's just a glorified chock block. It's had the suppressor removed, but again, this is a Hoover Senior motor. Nailed into a machine, possibly from the 1990s, into the handle wire is modern. It's got the same see-through tubing that covers it. It's turbo power does. The switch is modern. This is from a Hoover 262 and 612. Mr. Stewart 612 has almost exactly the same handlebar. It's just it's an odd machine. It's obviously come on lads, we need to sell something. What have we got knocking around the warehouse? With some modern 80s Hoover touches. It is quite remarkable. The machine was listed as, lightly used, very good condition. And I can tell you that although it's in very good condition, it was not lightly used. It was filthy. You can still see the damage on the front of the base plate. Again, there's no grinding that smooth without making it look even worse. The bag would probably still make the water black now if I washed it again. I just gave up because you run the risk then of going too far. So we line this up and put that on. There we go. Look, the height adjustment came up really, really well. Got thick, which is just fully up. Then normal, and listen, the pin drops into position, and then thin, and then there's another one which doesn't do anything. Oh, it does, yeah, and like so low that the wheel doesn't turn. Which we'll leave it in thick because, no, we'll leave it in normal because otherwise it'll flop down. The wheels are slightly different there. They obviously haven't been able to take the bumper off because it's riveted on, and I'm not messing with those, although one of them, it is split, so in that back corner you do have to proceed with caution. What else is there? And if I take it off, we can have a look at the bag. Now if you remember, see, I've been using that. If you remember, this was all seized, we had to tap it back with a hammer. Not anymore. Beautiful, the handle bail now works supremely well. It doesn't so much spring, basically because it's such a heavy handle that the spring can't cope, but you know, it does help it along. It is tensioned, it's just such a heavy handle, etc. Here is the bag. Now this is where things go a little bit downhill because I couldn't take the bag off the flange. Here is the bolt. So I cleaned it up with the Dremel as best I can, but it got washed like this. There is no taking that off, and the problem is this bag is so rare. Look, here is where all the paint was. You can still see a little bit deep in the seams, but that survived a washer treat, and the condition of the whole bag, it's almost a shame I don't actually have another senior bag to hand, because we have to use this for the art of video, which means that unfortunately I'm not going to be putting down masses of dirt because I will have to clean it out. As far as electricity is concerned, well, it uses it. If I take off the green, I don't have any black ones, clips, and remove the, what I believe to be original cable, certainly would be befitting of the era to have a plain black cable. I also kept, look, it's asset, wow, it's asset tag, look, that is a retro old asset tag. Be ashamed to lose that, and refitted. God, that glare. The Volex plug. Oh, there we go. That's going to go really close. Which, with its pins polished, looks perfect. Yeah, that even rhymes. But obviously, all this is meaningless twaddle, as is most of my videos, without seeing how it works. And we'll start off on the thick power because it's where it's going to enjoy itself the most, I think. It's really heavy! The bag is just almost massive. Really, if we can go to here. Actually, that's interesting. There was a bit of Weetabix on here. If you've watched my videos a lot, the Judy 119 after, I've just filmed that. It's just picked that up by suction alone. Because if we go underneath and I change its height control to thin, see if it does any better. Ooh. Definitely a machine that needs to stick itself to the floor. Obviously this wouldn't have been around when that was designed in the 50s, let alone sold in the whenever it was. Let's have a play with that a bit more. That feels quite nice. And we'll put just a little bit of rice down, just to watch it bounce. If it bounces. seen that, so I'm actually a little bit confident that it will pick this up by suction alone. Not quite. Not quite. Oh, now underneath my sofa's full of rice. Good effort though. What a lovely sound. However, where it'll probably hold its own, I just remembered that will be on the wrong setting as well. That will still be on thin. I think, do you know what, it'd probably work quite well on thick. Let's see. Ooh. Yes. Wow, that's on thick. That's just putting this really hit the carpet up. Putting this really heavy carpet up into its path. Look at that. Good little Hoover, although I still have a lot of rice everywhere, which we should probably clean up before we carry on. This feels like such a toy after this 10 minutes with this. Blimey, if I drop this on that, it would destroy it. It really would. There we go, look! Vacuum cleaner, which has its origins in the 40s. That's on a joint. Which has its origin in the 40s versus the vacuum cleaner that has its origins straight in 2019. There we go. Yes! That's it, really. Put these back roughly in line. There we go, look. Attempt to make the place look pretty. Whew. What a behemoth this really is. Stunning machine. I've never had, actually no, I have had a 91208 before, but it was always parts. It was never complete and I never used it. This is probably about as close as I've got so far in my life to, you know, what some people would regard as the ultimate in quality. I've already had Mr. Garashine call this the furniture destroyer because in the hands of a maid who doesn't care, you would lose everything. This will just keep going. And it will keep going now, hopefully, for another, well, it's only 30 years old, 20, 30 years old, but another 100 years this will keep going for. This has its underpinnings. You know, this is a good example of how to cheap out on a vacuum cleaner while still making it pretty much bulletproof. And that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Ooh, forgot to tell you. Notice the hood is looking quite sexy. It's been repainted. Look at that. It's been repainted. You would never know that that wasn't the original finish. Probably need a couple more coats of trim gel on the bumper. But yes, forgot about that. There we go. Thank you very much for watching, and I Shall see you soon. Bye bye.